Genius for life. Coconut smoothies coming at you. Hello there. I was just bobbing my head to that awesome music. Genius for life, yo. So my name is Alex Bear. I'm the CEO and founder of Genius Juice, which are whole, organic, plant-based coconut smoothies. But enough about my company. That's not why I'm here. I'm here to talk about and talk with great entrepreneurs, great advisors, consultants, entrepreneurs that are in the CPG space. So this guy that we're bringing on, he is hailing from the East Coast. He is 3 hours ahead right now. It's probably like 9:30 at night over there. We're taping it around 6 p.m. here in LA. Before rolling into our guest, want to give a big plug to Mark Nicholas, Mark N. at ManhattanBeachStudios.net. He is drinking this product, which, by the way, we recommend not to drink it straight. But if you do, that's totally up to you. You know, you have the freedom to do whatever you want once you buy Otamot Foods, which is our guest and the product that's in the spotlight tonight. So, little intro on Andrew Suzuka. He's the CEO of Otamot Foods. Otamot, which is tomato spelled backwards. I did not even know that until he told me, so I feel like I'm not a genius right now. Was founded by a dad who simply wanted to help his daughter eat more veggies. Sold nationwide in Whole Foods. I found it in my local Whole Foods right here in El Segundo. They call it the Whole Foods PCH. They're in Sprouts nationally, right? Also national in Sprouts?
Yep.
Wegmans,
Yep.
Fresh Time, Rouse's, and more. Otamot's line of organic plant-based sauces contain 9 to 12 organic veggies per jars with no added sugar or preservatives. Andrew, how's it going, my man?
Good. Thanks for having me, Alex.
Absolutely. Yeah, thanks for joining us so late and super short notice as well. You got product out to me that, delivered today, and then I was able to pick it up also and support you at the Whole Foods locally here. So tell us more. I turned the label around because, again, it just launched in Whole Foods nationally and also in Sprouts, and I finally got my hands on it. I've heard about it for a while. It is clean. I mean, it is clean. It's organic. There's no weird preservatives in it. It's something that is like, it feels like it's freshly blended and put into a jar. So tell us more. I'm going to take a step back, but tell us more about the product, about the benefits, about what makes you different in a very crowded category like tomato sauce, and also tell us the inspiration to create this product.
Sure. So Otamot, tomato spelled backwards. You can think of it as a farmer's market in a jar, right? It was inspired by my daughter, who's 9, Evelyn, who I think is sleeping now, unless she's up reading under the covers, being sneaky. But it was an accidental business, to be honest with you. I wasn't looking to launch a tomato company. I wasn't looking to sell a jar. I just wanted to help my daughter eat more vegetables. And I needed to do it with a vehicle that was familiar to her. She loves pasta. She loves pizza. And I love to cook. So I simply started putting some veggies into a steamer and figured out, hey, I can make this tomato sauce and trick her into eating some veggies. She loved it, asked for more, and that was really the start of the whole thing.
Yeah, and looking at this product, I mean, again, like I'm not going to go through every single ingredient, but this is 100% organic. Prego, eat your heart out, right? I mean, it was priced very similar to a mainstream tomato sauce. I think it was like $4.99 or in the fives. Organic tomato. It has organic carrot, organic red bell pepper. Everything's organic. It feels fresh. It tastes fresh. I love the packaging on it. So how has velocity been, right, when you're standing next to these other big brands? How are you able to get people to understand? Because that's really like entrepreneurs watching, right? It's about asking these hard questions. How do you get someone who walks into a store? You can't do demos right now because of COVID. You can't do samplings. You have to rely on your packaging. You have to rely on this working very hard to get someone to buy this over another brand. What have you done on your packaging and branding identity to get people to say, you know what, I'm going to try this over whatever's next to us?
Right. So honestly, I'm an ad guy for the past 24 years. So I started out in the space, understanding the importance of marketing, building a brand before we even launched, and we're doing R&D and trying to figure out, can you make a veggie loaded sauce taste delicious, and also make it nutritious? In parallel, we were working on the brand. What's it going to look like? What's it going to stand for? And so once I decided, hey, let's give this a crack, I knew that you had to stand out on the shelf. And so the packaging became very key to that. We hired a PR company before we even launched. We hired a marketing and creative agency before we launched. I'm lucky enough to have that background, so we had lots of positive back and forths and constructive sessions. And then it's all about getting your word out there. So there's a lot of creative ways that we do it. Of course, there's media buying as well. We do the social, we do the search, we'll do online events, we'll do cooking events. Working every which way that we can to gain market share and just exposure. But what we find is that when people do try it, especially the parents, especially people that are into eating cleaner and healthier, they stick with it, and it's the most fun. And I'm sure you can relate, Alex, is when you get those emails in the middle of the night or in the middle of the day, it doesn't matter when, and people spend time telling you how much they love your product and what it's done for them, and it's just pretty cool. Because I was happy that my daughter was eating this, right? That was it. The fact that another person, then another person, and I think that someone, plenty of people across the United States and now in China and Canada, et cetera, are enjoying it. That's a mind trip for me. And it's pretty cool because it was never the intent, but it just makes me smile. It just makes me feel good that we could do something, the David versus Goliath type of thing, do something that I feel matters and feel good about.
Yeah, absolutely. Did you say that you're in China now and also in Canada?
Yeah, so we actually were approached by a broker at I think it was a summer fancy food show several months after we launched in 19, who imported a number of brands into China. And after a bunch of back and forth, we realized that it's a great market for us to be in, and it was the right partner. And so we started exporting to China in December of 2019. Just wrapped up our first full year there. Canada started reaching out to us as well, some retailers directly up there. And it's trying to build this the right way, not say yes to every opportunity, but when things feel like they make sense and I feel like they're good partners, we take advantage of it.
Definitely. And I think one really interesting thing about your product is it's a really kind of like we had Julie's dates on, I think 5 or 6 episodes ago, Amanda Sains, and we were talking about how sleepy the category is, right? Like dates have been sleepy, especially dating, right? Like, it's a terrible joke during COVID, right? Dating. So, but tomato sauce is the same thing, right? It's been a very sleepy category. You're coming in with something that is way healthier, way cleaner. I think it actually gives you a really great edge because people know what tomato sauce is. It's been in the ethos of America for, 80 years, and then you're adding your new spin on it. So how many SKUs do you have right now? And then how many stores are you in currently?
Right. So we have four SKUs right now. This is our essential sauce. This is the first one, 10 organic veggies. It's a very simple sauce. It's complex in terms of the number of veggies, but it's a base sauce that you can use for a lot of stuff. And it's very naturally low in acid. So people love that for that reason. We have our spicy sauce. This started out exclusive with Whole Foods. So that was really cool. Then after the 3 months was up, we started selling it in other stores. Carrot bolognese is our third SKU. So this is
Love it.
Tons of bits and pieces of carrot. Just wanted to do something different in that category. And this one just came out a couple of months ago. It's a dairy-free organic vodka sauce. So it uses cashew butter, no dairy in here, and 80 proof organic vodka. So there's 4 SKUs out right now. We are going to explore outside of the sauce category. In a few months, we'll be announcing that. And it is a Seamus Amos, like you said, Alex. What got me excited about this is not just that it's something that I can give to my daughter and help her eat better and have fun while doing it, is that it has been a sleepy category, one that's been ripe for disruption. So the combination of being able to do something that I genuinely believe in and could speak passionately about, and do it in a category that I felt had a lot of white space. The combination of those two has really helped us, give us opportunities, and helped us grow.
Awesome. Yeah, it's a great story because you just started, right, in 2019. Here we are, what month in 2019 did you start? Was it
It was
beginning?
March.
March. So you
Yeah,
started
March. Yeah.
just under 2 years ago. You've gotten two big national rollouts. Can you share with all the entrepreneurs on here that are looking to sell their product into Whole Foods, Sprouts, like what was a strategy beyond just the product and standing by your product and how great it is, but like what was a strategy on getting in touch with a buyer, getting a meeting with them? I mean, it's hard to launch in a national retailer when you're a young brand with not a lot of proven record, right? You're only in local stores. How'd you go from local
Right.
to national so quickly?
Right.
I mean, like shower us with some of your sage advice on how to open
Right.
these doors, right? Faster.
So what worked for us, and I would equate it to buying a house in terms of when there's a lot of people that are looking to purchase a house and they're lining out the door, the ones that are going to be taken a little bit more seriously, maybe be a little bit more organized, are the ones that have a broker, right? So equate that to when you're trying to get into retail. We got introduced to Whole Foods, for instance, through one of our broker that we brought on about 6 months after launching. And the key is finding a broker that you're very aligned with and that fits your way of thinking, your ethos, and your brand, just your brand values. So we were really lucky to do that. Afterwards, we also, actually before we even launched though, and I think this is probably even more key, is making sure that you invest in your brand and invest in your marketing and PR. So we brought in a PR company about 2 months before we launched because I really wanted to hit the ground running. So you can have a great product, you can be in front of these buyers, but if they haven't heard about you before, if their interest hasn't been piqued at all before that moment, the chances of you actually being perhaps taken seriously, I feel are less. So you really have to build up that brand equity, invest in it, and then then you can have more of a positive conversation because getting to the party and just getting on the shelf is like being invited to the party, but then you got to dance, then you got to perform and get out there. So then that PR starts to continue, that media starts to continue. The other thing that I think worked for us was when we are having these meetings and had those meetings and continue to have them, they need to know that they're not dealing with a brand or a company that it's going to potentially have issues with inventory.
Mm-hmm.
And you may, in the beginning, have a small production capability. Ours at first was real small. I mean, we made a few hundred jars and then went up to a few thousand and just scaled up from there. But on day one, I was not ready to have a meeting with Whole Foods. Just to be clear, we were so early that I would be nervous if Whole Foods had put their first PO in, right? But when we actually were ready for that meeting and had that meeting about 8 months later, we had, I would say, graduated to a new partner facility. We were ready to scale. We knew our velocity could easily outpace any of the demand. And so we were able to talk about that in complete honesty. And I think that's really key because you can be approved in a store. You can have a local forager for Whole Foods find you. You can be approved regionally, or you can go national. And maybe it works sequentially like that for some brands. For us, we were very blessed, very lucky that they said, Andrew, we believe in you. We're actually going to take you national just right away. So I think there was a combination of, having great representation through your broker, having a brand equity that's out there that they know that you're going to continue to invest in, and also having the ability to produce product at the velocity and scale that they need. I would say there's a fourth element that doesn't get mentioned or thought about too often. And it is a little bit of maybe a little secret or just something that I think would be helpful for future entrepreneurs or ones going through the struggle right now, is you are going to be dealing with Unify, KeHE, some really big distributors, and you're going to be expected to know a lot of different things about that before you sign on, before they take you on. And so besides getting a broker representation, I would heavily consider getting someone who has experience in the distribution world someone that's worked at Unify, maybe worked at KeHE, whoever your first distributor is, someone that's been there for a while, knows the ins and outs, and can help guide you to make that process more seamless and easier. Because if you come to the table fully prepared, knowing how your freight rates are going to work and how your deductions potentially are going to work, or A, B, and C, then you're just way more buttoned up. You're gonna be a vendor that's just much more easy to work with. And I think the less friction that you have throughout the pitch and sale process, the better. And we were looking to line those things up.
It's great advice. It's great advice. And I think, one key thing you said is aligning with your broker, right? To make sure you're on the same page and you have common goals. And also PR, right, is really supporting your brand, because I've been in buyer meetings where, there's always a what's in it for me, right? They're going to help us by bringing us into their stores, and we're going to build velocity, and we're going to move more units, which is great for the company, for us, the vendor. But what is it going to do for them, right, by bringing our product in? And I think having building value by, letting them know in a meeting and saying, listen, we're going to build value in your set. Like, we're going to get more customers to come in your doors that normally would not come into your door to find our product. And also we're going to grow value in the overall sauce, tomato sauce set. So, and I love how you're also doing PR outside of that with articles, social media, driving consumers to go to that store. Really, one very quick story is we had a recent buyer meeting it's a new account that's in the Midwest. We're not in the Midwest too much. We're pretty limited in the Midwest. We're on the coast. We're in Texas. We're in Florida, Mid-Atlantic, North Atlantic, Northeast. So, the buyer was asking, like, what can you do to get people in our doors? We have a mailing list of 18,000 people, right, that have ordered product on geniusjuice.com. We know, not to sound like scary, we know we know where they live. We know what state they're in. We know if they're close to this store or not. So we propose an entire marketing program where we would actually reach out to the customers that are geolocated next to stores and telling them, we are now located at your local, this store, and you can go in. It's only 30 miles away or 10 miles away or 2 miles away. And, here's a coupon you can download and use at the store. So these are all these small things that really go a long way, where you're vested in the partnership, right? You're helping them to be successful together. So really good stuff, man. And I would love to know who that broker is, because brokers are a whole other discussion. Brokers are very hit or miss. Some are great. Yep. Some you pay and they don't really do that much work. I think some brokers have brokers has kind of a bad stigma to it, but there are some really great ones out there that we work with. But it's hard to find the right broker. So,
I would love to give him a shout out. So his name is also Andrew Lima from Off the Ground.
Yeah.
And we met through a mutual friend. So yeah, he's a young guy. He comes from being a merchandiser himself on the brand side.
Yep.
So he's in it. He's had his hands dirty. He's had to go to the stock room, had to put it on the shelf. So he can relate with the people with the boots on the ground, and he knows how to, he knows what the buyers are looking for. And he's also, what's great about Andrew is he's pleasantly persistent. And that's a fine line to walk, right? Because you keep knocking on a door and you keep knocking on a door, and there's some retailers that we're really excited about that we'll be launching with soon. And, they're just a long game, right? And if you're not tactful or just compassionate or thoughtful enough when you do those follow-ups, someone can just go too hard at it and just ruin your brand.
Yeah.
Right. And then you're out for who knows how long. And I've always just found him to be very, just like a good guy, and just knows how to approach the situation in the way that I would. So he's someone I loved flying down to Texas with him. I mean, we went to Franklin's, got some good brisket in line there. That was when we were meeting with Whole Foods, and just fun taking road trips with him when we're doing the in-persons and stuff. And it's kind of someone that you want to hang out with. So I think when you do think about your broker, is that someone you want to have a beer with, right? Is it someone you want to have a coffee with? Is it someone you would take a road trip with? And if the answer is yes, yes, and yes, okay, then you're onto something, right? And then Then you look at what brands they're working with, make sure they're aligned with what you're about, and then you go for it. I mean, it's like dating. You just stay together, and and we've been together for almost a couple of years now, and I love seeing him grow, and it's the reciprocal type of relationship that you should have. In addition to that, I mean, I feel their social strategy is really strong as well. I think when a broker realizes that buyers are liking onto your Instagram posts, it's just very different. A PR company is not going to know who a buyer is at a store, but a savvy broker or their team is going to. And so, you want to know, what are the other services that your broker does? Are they just out there dialing for dollars and that's that? They have to be more 360 thinking. And so, those are the things that you want from your broker, and things to discuss, because it's all intertwined. Yes, we have our PR agency, and we have our broker, and we have our media buying, but there's all different parts that they have to come together. It's like Voltron. All the pieces have to really come together to work, and you just want the best parts of it all, and then it's your job to run the ship.
Awesome. Well, yeah, big shout out, Andrew Lima, off the ground. So make sure to reach out to him. I'm sure he is prevalently on LinkedIn. So we're going to go into our next little section here before we wrap this interview. This is called Rapid Fire Questions. Rapid Fire Questions. All right. So, minute or less. Get ready. Get psyched. Stretch. Here we go. 1 minute or less. It's questions. Answer real quick. Let's go. NSYNC or Backstreet Boys?
NSYNC.
First thing you do when you wake up?
Drink water.
Same thing here. Movie you can watch an unlimited amount of times?
Dazed and Confused.
You know that 2 people in a row said Dumb and Dumber on the guest before you? Like, what's the chances of that? Dazed and Confused kind of in the same category. Song you can listen to an unlimited amount of times?
Oh, man. Hypnotized by Biggie Smalls.
Favorite sport to watch?
Lacrosse.
Cool. No one said football, even though we're like right before the Super Bowl. It's interesting. The last 4 guests, no one said football. Zoom, Microsoft Teams, or Google Meet, or none? What's your favorite?
None.
What's your spirit animal?
Probably a dolphin.
Window seat or aisle seat on an airplane whenever you get to fly again?
Window, so you can sleep.
Peanut butter or almond butter, or neither?
Crunchy peanut butter.
Nice. Omnivore, flexitarian, vegetarian, or vegan?
Flexitarian. I'll eat everything.
Right on. LeBron James or MJ?
MJ.
Of course. Ginger or turmeric?
Ginger.
Favorite food or drink if you're stuck on a deserted island? You cannot say Genius Juice, and you cannot say Otamot.
I'm going for some raw fish.
Raw fish.
Some sashimi.
That is, what's great about that, that's the only thing that's actually realistic that you can get on a deserted island. Everyone says, like, I would have a martini and, some crazy dish that you find at a 3-star Michelin restaurant. So, yeah. So there you go. So that is our rapid fire questions with Andrew Suzuka, the CEO of Otamot Foods. Episode 44, 15 Minutes of Genius. Thank you so much, Andrew, for being on our show. Great to hear your story, and congratulations on all your success and traction with Otamot.
Thank you so much, Alex. Thanks for having me, everybody.
Awesome. All right, have a good night, my friend.
Thank
you. Okay, so again, that's episode 44. By the way, we usually post our episodes every Tuesday and Friday, right on LinkedIn and also YouTube. Another big plug to Mark Nicholas, Mark at ManhattanBeachStudios.net. They do it all. They're in Manhattan Beach. They're in California. They're near the ocean. They're awesome. Editing, videos, photos, it all. So again, thank you for joining us. And one last thing. Stay genius, my friends. Genius for life. Coconut smoothies coming at you.